Shaun Ryder, welcome to GB News. And listen, you are a creative powerhouse, and lockdown hasn't stopped you, has it? You've been recording and you're going on tour soon.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, in fact, I had a pretty all right lockdown, It was rather good, rather enjoyed it. I know a lot of people had a really hard time, but it was great being at home with the family.
Did you work in a different way creatively, considering that you were at home? I mean, did it influence you as an artist at all?
Don't know really. It's how we work now, isn't it? Really, you don't have to be in the studio anymore with somebody. You just get the stuff sent to you down your iPad or your computer, and then start work. So it's quite easy. I mean, you can make an album stood at a bus stop these days.
Too right. It's very true. I mean, has technology helped you? Has it facilitated your creative output?
It has in a way that I get stuff sent to me and I can just get on with it, But I do have to sort of get somebody to sort of help me turn on the computer.
That's the hard bit, yeah. Well, it's quite amazing how the world has changed, hasn't it? And, you've kept your creative output. I mean, what motivates you to still produce music, Shaun?
Well, I don't really do anything else, man. I get asked, what are your hobbies? And I really don't have any hobbies. My hobby is my job, which is making music and playing music. So, that's it. That's just what I do.
And listen, you've had the most amazing career. It continues apace. And as a kid, did you show any kind of musical talent?
Not really. We always loved music, records and playing records. And then my old bloke, he played the banjo and he did the sort of, the working men's clubs and stuff. And he played accordion. But apart from loving music, I didn't play any instruments. It wasn't really until I went and watched David Essex in Stardust and That'll Be the Day in 1974 or something, that I thought, yes, I want to be a rock star. I don't want to die of a drug overdose, but I want the birds, the pills, the booze, and the pot, or whatever Adam Faith said in it.
And are you self-taught? Are you self-taught as a musician?
Yeah, all the band are. None of us none of the band could read music. Well, I'd lie there. The guitarist could read music, and that was it. But that doesn't stop you, does it? Look at the Beatles. None of them can read music. Sometimes it holds you back, because if if you trained on something, you go, I can't possibly do that. Well, then if you can't read music or you can't really play your instrument, you just go for it and do it. So, sometimes it can hold you back.
And Shaun, when was the moment in your music career where you thought, actually, things are happening now? Can you identify a moment when you thought, this is it? I'm on the path.
Yeah, absolutely. For my generation, it was Top of the Pops. As soon as we got to Top of the Pops, it was like, hey, we've made it. We're set for life. Really, again, it's just really starting. But
that was a big moment. And what about songwriting? Is that something that has always come to you easily, Shaun?
Well, I was a class clown at school. I really didn't join in lessons, and I found it difficult learning. Was later on in life as an adult, I'd get diagnosed with ADHD, but I could, learning is all about remembering, and I just didn't retain anything. I used to just make songs up and rhymes up about people, or make poems up about the teachers and stuff. When we got the band together, we all had a go at trying to write songs, and I was the best at it, so I got the job by default as the songwriter.
You've since had a diagnosis of ADHD. What exactly is that, Shaun?
What is that? Oh God! What isn't it? It's it affects, still to this day. If I don't sing the alphabet, I can't get it. It also sort of explains, the behaviour, the destructive behaviour, the drugs and the drinking and the getting in trouble from an early age, So You know, as soon as I was diagnosed, because I've got 2 children with it. As soon as they got diagnosed, and it had to come from somewhere, I was roped in to go and get tested, and it came from me. And it was like the light switched on, really. It explained a lot of things, you know, all about my behaviour and, you know, and the difficulties in, you know, organising stuff and doing stuff, you know, simple things like paying bills and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
To me, madness.
And do you think maybe when you sort of indulged in a few liquid refreshments and a couple of pharmaceutical, you know, libations, that was that a way of managing the symptoms? Do you think, was it almost like, you know, self-medicating a little bit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always felt, how can I describe it? A feeling of having your underpants up your backside and your ghoulies twisted round them at the front, and that's how I always felt inside. And you know, it's really, you know, I just didn't fit, and felt like I fit into my body. And as soon as I took some drugs, I felt, to me, normal and felt comfortable in my body, and I could focus on things.
Yeah.
You know, instead of being all over the place, a million things going in your head at once, as soon as I took my drug of choice, that's made me feel like a human being.
And have you had a bit more professional and medical support since the diagnosis, so that you haven't got to self-medicate?
Oh, certainly on the support and understanding things more. The amphetamine sort of stuff, you know, that they give you and give to the kids and everything. I mean, it doesn't send you sort of running around like a maniac and everything. It has, you know, it has a more calming effect. It's the opposite, and it helps you focus. But I just thought, for me, I've got alternative sort of natural gear, which really does help me focus and keeps me together.
Is there a flip side to this, being positive? Is your condition also a superpower? I mean, would you be such a creative, talented guy if this wasn't part of who you are?
Well, that I can't answer, you know. I mean, but maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't be doing what I was doing if I was, you know, if I didn't have ADHD.
Because I only make that point given the fact that you said that a lot of the way that you navigate the world is through music, that you learnt the alphabet by singing it. So I just wonder whether your unique language, your way of processing the world is musical and creative.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and again, it's like I'm also, it's like I've got something in my hand now. I've got a pen in my hand. And I'm, what they used to say at school, fiddling with it. But I'm not fiddling with it, because without that pen in my hand, if I put that pen down now, I wouldn't be able to probably carry on this conversation. Yeah. You know, I'd be off somewhere else. So, you know, I'm sort of a touchy-feely learner.
I'll never forget the first time I met you, Shaun, and I was bowled over by your intelligence, your sense of humour, and your warmth. We were both on Celebrity Come Dine With Me.
Yeah. We went to your house for a meal.
Where you came round. I think I owe you a crate of Guinness, because you gave me 10 points for my 3-bird roast, which, by the way, sounds obscene, but it's a Christmas dish. And it was a lot of fun making that show with you. But I got to know you then. You know, life has not been easy. You seem to have come through so much, Shaun, you know, and you've come out the other side.
I suppose that's part of the ADHD as well, because, you know, I can't really remember it. You know what I mean?
That's perfect. Tell me about the new album.
I recorded it actually in 2010, and I flew back from LA after we recorded it, and I went straight into I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. And I came out under different management, and basically the manager didn't want to put the album out. He wanted me to build up my profile on television. So the album got forgot about, really. And then in lockdown, Alan McGee said, you know, your album, get it out and give it a reworking. So did a few vocals and remastered it and, you know, touched it up a little bit. And there it was, ready, good to go. So, you know, it's just great to have it out.
I think it is. Visits from Future Technology. What's the vibe of the album?
The vibe of the album, well, again, in my sort of ADHD way and delusional way, it's sort of my Sergeant Pepper's, even though it's nothing like Sergeant Pepper's. What I mean is it's got lots of different flavours on the songs. Yeah. You know, all the songs are different flavoured.
Yeah, well, listen, I've enjoyed some excerpts and your voice as good as ever. I think people forget, we know you're a great songwriter and performer, but an amazing singer too. Do you like singing? Yeah,
I mean, I'm a front man and I can't really say anything now. I sing, you know, but I mean, it's like if I went on X Factor, I couldn't go on X Factor and do, you know, 3 different songs, you know, on the show and all different types, you know, and hit the keys and get the right notes or whatever. You know, I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, you know, I sort of look at myself like Bob Dylan-ish, you know, we do what we do with our voice.
We're hopefully through the worst of the pandemic now, and you'll be on stage soon. You're touring.
Yeah, well, we actually kick off tomorrow with the Black Grape tour in Manchester. So yeah, although we did a festival with Black Grape last week, but the first gig of the tour is tomorrow, Friday in Manchester at the Ritz.
Congratulations! And what does it mean to you to be back on stage, Shaun?
Oh, it's just great, you know. I mean, it was great to be at home, but now they're all fed up of me, and the wife wants me back out of the house for about another 20 years. So, you know, it's great to get back out there. You know, love it.
You tempted to do any more TV? You made a big splash in the jungle. I'm a Celebrity. How was that experience?
Oh, I loved it. You know, I thought it was brilliant. You know, I could have easily stayed there, you know, for the rest of my life.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Well, why would you say that? Just because there's a bit of peace and quiet, no technology, no distractions?
Yeah, well, a bit of peace, a bit quiet, no technology, no distractions, you know, apart from the mosquitoes. But yeah, you know, I could have done the sort of Japanese soldier bit there and stayed there forever.
Yeah, well, why not? As long as you've got a bit of recording equipment, that's fine. Keep on producing your great music. And you've popped up in lots of reality shows. You did Celebrity Gogglebox a little while ago, and you weren't hugely impressed with Boris Johnson.
Boris, you know, he's I mean, look, he's all right, you know what I mean? But I mean, he's not my, you know, I mean, I'm not in his party, you know, but yeah, you know, I mean, you can't expect anything else of someone like Boris, can you? But I think he's got good hair.
That's a start. He's got a good hairdo, definitely. Do you think he should probably be a rock star rather than a politician? But maybe
he'd make a good rock star. Yeah, you know, off his nuts.
And what about Noel Gallagher and Robbie Williams? I know they're friends of yours, and I understand that you've been collaborating with them a little bit.
Yeah, we did in lockdown. Did a track. Robbie sent something over. Did a bit on that, and then Noel. You know, there's a track there. I don't know when they're going to come out or whatever, but yeah, they're done. So sound good.
Well, that's fantastic. And what do you make of the music scene in 2021, Shaun?
There's some good stuff about, you know. I mean, there is. I mean, you know, it's yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not one of these like, you know, it's all rubbish now. It's not. I mean, you know, there's some good stuff around.
How would you feel if you were a new artist right now? Do you think you could achieve everything you did all over again? What's the climate like for new artists?
Well, I mean, you know what? I mean, the internet changed everything, didn't it? You know, when it comes to artists. So, you know, I mean, it's just like, to me, it's just the same as it's always been. You need a bit of luck. You need to, you know, have the goods I mean, it's like we got a break, you know, and our break was because we knew somebody who knew somebody, you know, and they got us hooked up with Factory Records. You know, we sort of jumped the queue because we knew a geezer, and we got, you know, we got on the label. But if it wouldn't have been any good, we'd have been dropped. You know, so I mean, it's just as difficult and as easy as it ever has been, really.
And what are your thoughts about, you know, the pandemic? Do you think we're through the worst of it? Are you optimistic about the future? Have you got strong views on COVID?
COVID, well, we just really now got to get on with it, haven't we, really? You know, we're out, we're about. What else can we do? You know, go and hibernate for another 50 years.
And listen, do you get a lot of attention when you go out? What do the public make of Shaun Ryder? Because when I've told people that I'll be interviewing you, I mean, there's a lot of excitement. Do you get a good reception from the British public?
Oh yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, I mean, the young ones are really funny because, you know, they still, you know, they sort of still there back in the past, and you know, they expect this 60-year-old geezer to go out partying with them, taking cocaine, you know, and getting a few nuts. So yeah, it's funny.
Well, you've cleaned up your act a little bit, haven't you? When we worked together on Come Dine With Me, I mean, your body was a temple. You had 1 or 2 Guinnesses. That was about it. I couldn't believe it. You were even vaping, Shaun.
Yeah, well, I'm vaping now. It's been like that, really, for the past 18 years, really, ever since the missus got hold of me. You know, she slapped my face and cleaned me up. It's like, you know, the sex and drugs have gone and we just left with the rock and roll, you know.
That'll do. That's the important bit as far as I'm concerned. What about the future, Shaun? You're on tour. The album's out right now, which once again, let me tell you, I love the title, Visits from Future Technology. Absolutely inspired. What would you like to do next?
Obviously, we've got to finish off the Happy Mondays shows before I put them to bed for a couple of years, and then concentrate on the Black Grape, making a new Black Grape album, and then follow up solo album. And then go and tour the Black Grape stuff around the planet. And the solo album, I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to as well, to getting tour organised for the solo album.
Shaun, as far as I'm concerned, you're an incredible artist and an amazing guy, and it's always such a treat to talk to you. And thanks again for 10 points for my 3-bird roast and my plum duff.
Well, you see, I give it to you, you see, really, for your amazing personality and smiley face, you see. That's why you got that.
Ah, you old charmer. Listen, you stay well, man. I'd love to have a beer sometime, and thanks for being a legend.
Yeah, well done, boss. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.